والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إياك نستعين. صدق الله مولانا العظيم. وقال الله تبارك وتعالى في شأن حبيبه مخبرا وآمرا إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد كما تحب وترضى بأن تصلي عليه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. It's been a few weeks since we've looked at the tafsir of Surah Al-Fatiha, and I've been meaning to explain this whole discussion on isti'ana and tawassul, or what is the correct stance of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. Surah Al-Fatiha, last time we was looking at Iyaka na'budu, and I mentioned certain things in regards to why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Al-Fatiha Iyaka na'budu. And now straight away after Iyaka na'budu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Iyaka nasta'in. Now how this literally is translated is, from only you we seek help. And this is to an extent a correct translation. But when looking at the Quran and looking how deep and profound this kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, and when scholars commentate and try to explain verses of the Quran, then they are demanded and they have no choice but to refer to the mufassirin and the tafasir of the Quran. What scholars understood and what scholars deduced from certain verses. Now there is a qaida which I think I've explained before, and I'll explain it today again, in the Arabic language, that taqdeemu ma haqqu yafidu al-hasr, that something whose haqq, whose right was that it comes at the end, someone brings it at the beginning, yufidul hasr. The fayda of that thing is that it makes something mahsur, i.e. makes it restricted. Now in this verse, Iyaka nasta'in, there are three things. And you'll have to bear with me because this is a grammatical analysis of the Arabic language which I'm going to do in front of you. And once you have understood this, then you will fully appreciate the verse of the Quran. Iyaka na'budu has three things. It has fi'l, fa'il, maf'ul. Iyaka na'budu has a verb. It has a subject, the person doing that verb. And it has an object, the person who is doing that verb, or upon who is he doing that action upon. That is known as the object. For example, a verb is that thing that is a doing thing, and it has three tenses: past, present, and future. And the verb in Iyaka na'budu is the verb of abd, abada. Abada ya'budu means to worship. Allah says Iyaka na'budu, only you we worship. Allah Ta'ala changes the address here, and He is now talking into the second person, that only you we worship. Now what this means, ulama have said, that there's abid and ma'bud. The abid is the makhluk of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We pray and worship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is the maf'ul. So Allah is ma'bud. He is the one who is worshipped. Ibadah is done to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah doesn't do any ibadah. Hence why Allah isn't the subject but Allah is the object. Because the object is that thing which upon the act is done upon. Not the doer, He is the done upon. So ibadah is done upon Allah. Allah isn't the one who does ibadah. Iyaka na'budu, this word Iyaka, it is the object in the sentence. And the verb and the subject are na'budu. Now how the Arabic language works is that first the verb comes, the subject comes, and then the object comes. This is the tartib, the way in how a verbal sentence is formed in the Arabic language. But here Allah Ta'ala has brought Himself first, and then He has put the verb and subject after. Hence why ulama have said that when these things happen, i.e. Iyaka, the verse should have been Na'budu Iyaka. That's what the verse should have been. Likewise, it should have been that, no, na'budu iyaka, nasta'ina iyaka. The verse should have been nasta'in iyaka. That only we seek help to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the verse wasn't like that. The verse is iyaka nasta'in. And before it Allah says iyaka na'budu. And what is Allah Ta'ala is telling us that iyaka nasta'in here is meaning, even though iyaka should have come after nasta'in, it should have been nasta'ina iyaka. But the qaida and the principle in grammar is taqdimu ma habbuhu yufidul hasr. That thing which was meant to be delayed is meant to come after. Iyaka was meant to come after nasta'in. It's come before. It's become muqaddam. There has been taqdeem before it. It has come before its place. Yafidul hasr. The faida that it gives, it restricts that meaning. What this verse now means that we only ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no one else. And this can only be achieved when one understands the Arabic language and understands how depth the Arabic language is. Even myself, knowing the rules of grammar, I will not be able to understand this ayah if I do not look at the tafsir or the tafsir of the Quran or what the mufassirin have said. So iyaka nasta'in has this ability inside it, that the object came before the verb and the subject. Now, a lot of people, especially a lot of mufassirin, those who are against this ideology and this way of tawassul and to seek help from other people other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they say this verse proves that you can't ask help from anyone other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But our mufassirin have written that this world is known as alamul asbab. Alamul asbab, not alimul asbab. Alam and an alim are two different things. And unfortunately we make this a mistake a lot. We say, I want my son to become an alim. You don't want your son to become an alim. Alim means world. You want your son to become an alim. Alim means scholar. But because we don't understand and appreciate the Arabic language very fully, we make these mistakes quite a lot. So this world is alamul asbab. It is the world which has sabab, which has means. For example, Allah has put a sabab in the doctor. If we are ill, what is our sabab? We go to the doctor and the doctor gives us some medication. That medication is our means to our cure. If you want to learn and become a scholar, Allah Ta'ala doesn't teach us directly. He says, go to so and so madrasa, or go to this scholar, or go to this teacher, sit with him for a few years, and you will become a scholar. So the wasila in becoming a scholar is the teacher. Hence the wasila in curing yourself isn't Allah, but it's the medicine which the doctor gave you. But in reality, who cured you? Allah. But there was a sabab before going to Allah, wasn't there? That sabab was that medicine. Becoming a scholar and having knowledge of Allah. There was a sabab before you knew Allah, didn't you? Allah didn't teach you about Himself directly because we're not worthy. So Allah sent you to a teacher. That teacher was your sabab back towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you get rizq, when you get money and when you get financial means, you have to go to work. You have to wake up and go and work from 9 till 5 days a week. And then Allah Ta'ala at the end blesses you with that money. But what was the sabab of you getting that money, that work? That work that you did, that was the sabab that Allah gave you rizq. But in reality, who provided for you? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So no one can disagree that this world isn't a world of asbab. Everyone will agree upon this. Hence the ulama have said that this world is alamul asbab. There are sababs for you to gain something and to go back to Allah. There are also asbab for you to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one example they give is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, which we all read, but maybe we all haven't understood what Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim means. This is a dalil of our ulama on wasila, that it is jais to ask from other than the zat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. What does this mean? A lot of people have translated this as, in the name of Allah I ask, who is Ar-Rahman and who is Ar-Rahim. Some have said, I begin in the name of Allah, who is Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Imam Ahmad Raza Khan alayhi rahmatul Ridwan pondered upon these meanings. And he said all of these meanings are incorrect. They're not correct. Because when you say, I begin in the name of Allah, he he said that you do not take Allah's names first, you say, I begin. So you have not begun in the name of Allah, you have begun in I begin. And he said, if you translate it as in the name of Allah, then you haven't taken Allah's name first. You haven't said Allah first, you have said in the name of Allah first. Allah Hazrat says that the way this should be translated is Allah's name I begin in, who is Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. He said this translation is correct. Now, in this Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, there's a letter. The letter is Ba. Now the letter Ba has a very important and a very profound meaning within the Arabic language. In the very basic books of Arabic language, especially Sharh Mi'at Amilin, which was written by Abdul Qahir al-Jurjani, who is a Mu'tazili scholar. And every single person, whether he be Sunni or whether he be a Shia or whether he be any background, whoever studies Dars-e-Nizami, in his first year he will always study this book. This book is taught all over the entire world, Sharh Mi'at Amilin. It is taught in Pakistan, India, in the Arab world. It is taught everywhere. Abdul Qahir al-Jurjani, he says that the word Ba, al-Ba'u lil-isti'anati, the word Ba is used to ask help from someone. So when you say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, you are saying bil isti'anatil ism Allah Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. You are saying I seek help through the name of Allah. You are not seeking help through the Zat of Allah. You understand? You say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. आप कहते हैं बिस्मिल्लाह रहमान रहीम, आप अल्लाह की ज़ात से मदद नहीं तलब कर रहे, आप अल्लाह के इस्म से मदद तलब कर रहे हैं. Our ulama have said that this Bismillah Rahman Rahim is the biggest dalil that wasila is jais. Because when a person says, oh Allah, I am sitting down and I say Bismillah Rahman Rahim, you are not saying, Allah, I am asking you, I am asking the help of you. You are saying, no, you are not saying this. You are saying, Ya Allah, I am asking through your name, your ism, that you are Ar-Rahman and you are Ar-Rahim. If you can ask through the name of the ism of Allah and not through his Zat, and it's not shirk, then why can't you ask through the ism of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? And it cannot be shirk. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. No one can disagree that this means that you are asking through the Zat of Allah. You are asking through that name of Allah. You are saying, oh Allah, through that name of yours, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, help me in whatever work I am doing. And ulama have said that if you can ask through the ism, the name of Allah, and Allah blesses you without you asking through the Zat of Allah, then you can ask through the ism of the Anbiya and the Salihin, and Allah Ta'ala will accept and answer your dua. And the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Ad-du'a'u jaruddul qada'u, that your dua, Allah Ta'ala can change the taqadeer of a person just through dua. That's how powerful dua is. But are there examples in the lifetime of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that people used to come to him and ask him to make dua? And are there examples of wasila and tawassul in the ahadith of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? And we find in the hadith mentioned in the Sunan of Imam al-Tirmidhi, rahimahullah ta'ala. And this hadith has been narrated from Usman bin Hunayf. Sayyidina Usman bin Hunayf, he says, Anna rajulan darir al-basari atan nabiyya sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sayyidina Usman bin Hunayf, he said, I was sitting with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is our dalil, that tawassul you can ask through the Anbiya and Salihin, it is jais. But I've explained that through Bismillah Rahman Rahim, those who are against this, their ideology has been just refuted, used through Bismillah Rahman Rahim. But to further advocate and endorse our theology of asking from the Anbiya and Salihin, I will present this hadith. That a man came, Darir al-Basri, his eyesight, he was blind. He had a very weak eyesight, he couldn't see. Where did he go? Atan Nabiyya, he came to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The Rawi of the hadith doesn't say Atal Masjid. He came to the masjid and he performed nafal and asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to dua for him. He didn't say that. He said, Atal Nabi. That blind man who wanted his vision back came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The aada of the Sahaba, this was the aqidah, that when they were in need of something, they would go to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It says this in the hadith, Atan Nabiya. And that man, what did he say? He said, Udu Allah an yu'afiyani. He said, Ya Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, pray to Allah that He cures my eyes. And the Prophet ﷺ replied, إِن شِئْتَ دَعُوتُكَ وَإِن شِئْتَ صَبَرْتَ فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكَ. The Prophet ﷺ gave him a choice. They said that if you wish, I can make dua to Allah and Allah Ta'ala will return your eyesight. But if you do sabr upon this imtihan that Allah Ta'ala is testing you through, this is better for you. And he said, فَادْعُوهُ. He said, Ya Rasulullah, it's very difficult for me. Make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that my eyesight returns. So what did the Prophet ﷺ tell him to do? فَأَمَرَهُ أَن يَتَوَدَّأَ فَيُحْسِنُ وُضُوءَهُ وَيَدْعُو بِهَذَا الدُّعَاءِ. The Prophet ﷺ said, okay, fine, you want your eyesight to return? Go perform wudu and make the best wudu that you can make. After you have performed wudu, read 2 rak'ah nafil. After you have read the 2 rak'ah nafil, make this dua. This dua of wasila the Prophet ﷺ is teaching to his sahaba. The Prophet ﷺ said, make this dua. Allahumma inni as'aluka wa atawajjahu ilayka بنبيك محمد النبي رحمة يا محمد إني توجهت بك إلى ربي في حاجتي هذه لتقضى لي اللهم فشفع فيها. The Prophet ﷺ said, Usman bin Hunayf is narrating this scene. He said that the Prophet ﷺ said to this person, make this dua. Allahumma inni as'aluka. That, oh Allah, I ask you. Wa atawajjahu ilayka binabiyyika Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And I ask you, but I turn towards your Habib alayhi salatu wasalam, and then I ask you. The word ba is used again in this hadith. Wa atawajjahu bi nabiyyika. Ba is used again. Bi nabiyyika means bil isti'anati nabiyyika. Through the help of your Nabi, I am asking you that you return my eyesight. Who is telling him this dua? Usman bin Hunayf isn't telling him this dua. The Prophet ﷺ is saying, you say this after you read your 2 rak'ah nafil. If it was shirk to ask from the Anbiya and Salihin, then the first mushrik, according to those people who say it's wrong, is the Prophet ﷺ from this hadith. And a Nabi's job is that he eliminates every single aspect of shirk. That is a Nabi's job. He doesn't introduce shirk, he eliminates shirk. But the Prophet ﷺ said, وَاتَوَجَّهُ إِلَيْكَ بِنَبِيِّكَ مُحَمَّدٍ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. He said, oh Allah, I turn towards you through the help of your Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then he says, Ya Muhammadu. He said, oh Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, Inni tawajjahtu bika ila Rabbi. Ya Rasulullah, I now turn towards you so that you can turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and pray for me. Fi hajati, in this need that I have, that I want my eyesight to return. لِتُقْضَى لِي اللَّهُمَّ فَشَفِّهُ فِيَّ. Usman ibn Hunayf said that when he made this dua, moments didn't even pass, that sahabi, his eyesight was returned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because he made dua, that which the Prophet ﷺ told him, and he made that dua, bin nabiyyika, through the help of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Imam al-Tirmidhi, he writes after this hadith, هذا حديث صحيح غريب رواه النسائي ودلائل النبوة للحافظ أبي بكر بيكي. He said this hadith is sahih. No one can question the authenticity of this hadith. This hadith is sahih. Who is Imam Tirmidhi? Imam Tirmidhi is that individual who is the student of Imam al-Bukhari. Imam al-Bukhari is known to have wrote the most authentic book on hadith after the Quran. As-Sahih al-Qutub ba'd al-Quran is the Sahih of Imam al-Bukhari. Imam al-Bukhari's student is Imam al-Tirmidhi rahimahullah ta'ala. They say that when Imam al-Bukhari, one day he was sitting with his student Imam al-Tirmidhi, and Imam al-Bukhari is the teacher, Imam al-Tirmidhi shagird, his student. And Imam al-Bukhari said that, you know, all the years that I have been teaching you, I have benefited more from you than you have benefited more from me. This is the teacher saying to his student that the student has benefited the teacher more. The student hasn't benefited much from the teacher. And they say that when Imam al-Bukhari passed away, Imam al-Tirmidhi cried so much that he lost his eyesight. This was the connection that he had with his teacher. And if his teacher was Imam al-Bukhari, do you think he would narrate weak and da'if ahadith or mawdu' ahadith or fabricated ahadith, especially in regards to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Now this is one hadith
where the Sahabi came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and where he said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Ya Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, make dua that Allah returns my eyesight. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam could have said, oh, blind man, that I can't give you anything. Go and ask directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How you read Surah Al-Fatiha, Iyaka nasta'in. But the Prophet ﷺ knew that I will make dua and this individual will make dua, but the one who actually returns the basira, the eyesight of this individual is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But he will only return it once he asks through my sake. But ista'anat al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he asked for the help of the Prophet ﷺ. And there are plenty of examples, but I will just mention two more. This hadith is mentioned in Imam Tabarani, and Sayyidina Anas bin Malik narrates, this is not the amal of any sahabi, this is the amal of the Prophet ﷺ himself, where he himself physically did tawassul to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through other anbiya alayhi salam that came before the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This hadith, Sayyidina Anas bin Malik, he says, لما ماتت فاطمة بنت أسد بن هاشم أم علي بن أبي طالب, that when Sayyidina Fatima, the mother of Sayyidina Ali alayhi salam, when Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala's mother passed away, the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam, he dakhala alayha Rasulullah alayhi salatu wassalam. The Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam entered where her body was present, and when she was about now to be buried, the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam went to the graveyard with that body. And what happened? فَلَمَّا بَلَغُ الْلَحْدَ حَفَرَهُ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم بِيَدِهِ. The hole that was dug, where Sayyidina Fatima was going to be buried, the Prophet ﷺ with his own hands dug that hole for Sayyidina Ali's mother. Imagine that. The grave that you are now going to be lowered in, that was dug by the Prophet ﷺ, by the hands of Rasulullah ﷺ. وَأَخْرَجَ تُرَابَهُ بِيَدِهِ. And when she was lowered into her grave, the Prophet ﷺ was that, he with his own hands, he put soil on top of her body. فَلَمَّا فَرَغَ دَخَلَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ فَاتَّجَعَ فِيهِ. When they had finished doing this, the Prophet ﷺ lied in that grave. Before she was buried, the Prophet ﷺ lied in that grave. Imam Tabarani narrates this hadith. Hadith is sahih. And the Prophet ﷺ said this dua, Allahu allazi yuhyi wa yumeet. He said, Allah, you are the one who gives life and takes life. وَهُوَ حِيٌّ لَا يَمُوتُ. And you are the one that is ever living. You have no end. You will never die. اغفر لأمتي اغفر لأمي فاطمة بنت أسد. He said, oh Allah, forgive my mother Fatima, the mother of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. وَلَقِّنَهَا حُجَّتَهَا. And make talqina hujjat for her. وَوَسِّعْ عَلَيَّ مُدْخَلَهَا. And Ya Allah, you know her grave, make it so wasi as far as her eye can see. Make her grave this big. بِحَقِّ نَبِيِّكَ وَالْأَنْبِيَاءِ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِ فَإِنَّكَ أَرْحَمُ الرَّحِيمِ. Through whose right, Allah? Through whose sadaqah make the grave bigger? بِحَقِّ نَبِيِّكَ. Through the right of your Nabi, وَالْأَنْبِيَاءِ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِ. And all the Anbiya from Sayyidina Adam, Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam who passed away before me, through their sadaqah as well, Ya Allah, make the grave of Fatima bigger for us as far as her eyes can see. This hadith shows us that Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam himself did tawassul, not through just himself, but through the Anbiya that came before him. Now people have an objection here. And they say, well, Tika, in the lifetime of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, you can make dua to him. But now he's passed away, you can't make dua. If passing away of a Nabi means that you can't make dua to him, then all the Anbiya that passed away before the Prophet ﷺ, why is the Prophet ﷺ making dua through them? It makes no sense. Your aql says that this is wrong. But the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-Anbiya ahya'un fi quburihim. The Anbiya, they are alive in their graves. The Anbiya are alive even after they have passed away from this dunya, they can also help you. So this was the second daleel of tawassul, something which the Prophet ﷺ did himself. Finally, after the passing away of the Prophet ﷺ, did the Sahaba ever do tawassul through other people other than the Prophets? Yes. And this hadith is mentioned in the Sahih of Imam al-Bukhari, that كما كان عمر بن الخطاب إذا قعد استسقى بالعباس بن عبد المطلب. That in Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala in his time, there was a qahat, there was no water, and the Muslims in that time in Medina al-Munawwar, they required water. There was a drought, and water was required because the plants, they weren't harvesting or festing any fruits. So Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala made this dua, and he took the hand of Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas, Sayyidina Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib, who was from the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala made this dua, Allahumma inna kunna natawassalu ilayka bin nabiyyina sallallahu alayhi wa sallam fatusqina. He said, oh Allah, we used to make dua through the wasila of your Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam for rain, and used to give us rain through the sadaqah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But now, wa inna natawassalu ilayka bi'ammi nabiyyika fasqina fayusqawna. Ya Allah, now we are making dua through the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Allah, give us rain. And the Rawi says, "Yusqawna," it began to rain. Through the sadaqah of Al-Abbas ibn Muttalib, Allah Ta'ala gave rain. Through the family of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah gave rain. And this hadith is mentioned in Sahih Bukhari. And no one can question or the integrity of Imam al-Bukhari and the hadith that Imam al-Bukhari narrates. So these three hadiths, they highlight towards us that isti'ana bil-anbiya was-salihin, seeking help through the anbiya and salihin, with this aqidah, and this is very important, with this belief that you are asking help through the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam or through any of the awliya of the ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But you know that the one who gives in haqiqah is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when He gives through His salihin, to those people that are mahbub to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this was the tafsir of Iyaka Nasta'in, and inshallah next week we will look at the tafsir of Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, and hopefully in a couple of weeks we should be able to finish this whole tafsir of Surah Al-Fatiha. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq that we have better and more deeper understanding of the Quran. Wa aqulu qawli hadha wa astaghfirullah li wa lakum wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Amin. Allahumma anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa 'allimna ma yanfa'una وزدنا علما وزدنا حكمة وزدنا فهما والحمد لله على كل حال. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا وعملا متقبلا ورزقا طيبا. وصلى الله على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا رحمن.